El Salvador, the smallest and most densely populated country in Central America, has a rich and complex history marked by indigenous civilization, Spanish colonization, struggles for independence, civil conflict, and modernization. Pre-Columbian era, before the arrival of the Spanish, El Salvador was inhabited by several indigenous groups, including Papil, Lenca, and Maya. Papil, who were part of the larger Nahua-speaking cultures related to the Aztecs, established a significant civilization with Cuscatlan as their capital. Spanish conquest, 1524 to 1821. Spanish explorer Pedro de Alvarado, a lieutenant of Hernán Cortés, led the conquest of the region in 1524. The Papil fiercely resisted but were eventually defeated. The Spanish established settlements, including San Salvador in 1525. Under Spanish rule, indigenous populations suffered due to forced labor, diseases, and economic exploitation to the encomienda system. Independence from Spain, 1821. El Salvador, like other Central American nations, declared independence from Spain on September 15, 1821. Initially, it became part of the Mexican Empire, 1821 to 1823, but later joined the United Provinces of Central America, 1823 to 1841. The Federation dissolved due to internal conflicts, and El Salvador became a fully independent nation in 1841. 19th and early 20th century, coffee economy and political struggles. During the late 19th century, El Salvador's economy became dependent on coffee exports, leading to the rise of a wealthy elite. The government passed laws that took land from indigenous communities and gave it to coffee barons, increasing social inequality. The ruling class controlled the military and suppressed dissent, leading to frequent uprisings. La Matanza, 1932. In 1932, indigenous peasants and rural workers, led by Farabundo Martí, revolted against economic oppression. The government, under General Maximiliano Hernandez Martinez, brutally repressed the rebellion, killing around 30,000 people. This massacre, known as La Matanza, destroyed indigenous cultural identity and set the stage for future military rule. Military rule and civil war, 1931 to 1992. For much of the 20th century, El Salvador was controlled by military governments. Growing economic disparity, human rights abuses, and political repression led to the rise of leftist guerrilla movements, culminating in the Salvadoran Civil War, 1980 to 1992. The war was fought between the Farabundo Martí National Liberation Front, FMLN, a coalition of leftist guerrilla groups, and the Salvadoran government backed by the U.S. Atrocities such as the El Mozote Massacre, 1981, saw thousands of civilians killed. The war ended with the 1992 peace accords, bringing democratic reforms and turning the FMLN into a political party. Post-war period and modern challenges. Since the Civil War, El Salvador has transitioned to democracy, but has struggled with economic instability, corruption, and high levels of violence, particularly from gangs like MS-13 and Barrio 18. In recent years, President Nayib Bukele has implemented controversial security policies, including a state of emergency to combat gang violence. Conclusion: El Salvador's history is one of resilience, from its indigenous roots to its battles for independence and democracy. While the country has faced significant challenges, it continues to evolve politically, socially, and economically,